Today we will discuss the method of undetermined coefficients. But before that, we need to recall some important things. In this chapter, we are doing the methods for solving. We are learning methods for solving the differential equation y double prime plus pxy prime plus qxy equal to rx. This is non-homogeneous second order linear differential equation. First, we have learned methods for solving the homogeneous differential equation y double prime pxy prime plus qxy equal to 0. Which methods you have learned? Recall them. Method of one known solution. What is that? If one solution is given, y1 is given or y1 is known, other solution is y1 times integral 1 over y1 square e power minus integral px dx dx. For this differential equation, to write general solution, you need two linearly independent solutions, y1 and y2. So first method is, if y1 is known or you can guess somehow, then second solution is given by this formula. Okay. Then you have learned method for solving y double prime plus py prime plus qy equal to 0, the homogeneous differential equation with constant coefficients. There are three special cases, if you recall. What are those? First, you need to write the auxiliary equation m square plus pm plus q equal to 0. Depending on the roots of this equation, you have three cases. First, if the roots are real and distinct, say m1, m2, then general solution is c1 e power m1x plus c2 e power m2x. Second, if the roots are equal, say both are m, then general solution is c1 e power mx plus c2 x times e power mx. Third case, if the roots are complex, say the roots are m1 is a plus iota b, m2 is a minus iota b, then we can write general solution as e power ax c1 cos bx plus c2 sin bx. And in the previous lecture, you have learned some transformations by which you can transform this equation to an equation with constant coefficients. Okay, let us recall those also. Two transformations I told you in the previous lecture. First, this transformation can work to reduce the given differential equation to an equation with constant coefficients, provided q prime plus 2pq over q power 3 by 2 is a constant. If this condition is met for a certain differential equation, you can
say 2q3 power 2.
Okay, then it's constant, so you can write 2, no problem. Okay. So this is one case. Another very important equation we discussed, that is Cauchy-Euler equidimensional equation, means equation of the type x square y double prime plus p x y prime plus q y equal to 0. Second derivative is multiplied by x square, first by x. This kind of equation is Cauchy-Euler equidimensional equation. So which transformation works in this case? X equal to e power z. Okay, so up to this we have done. Now what's next? Now we want to learn the methods for solving non-homogeneous linear differential equation. Non-homogeneous linear differential equation, this one, y double prime pxy prime plus qxy equal to rx. Now rx is non-zero. If you recall the result that I proved also, how to get its general solution. First, you need to solve the corresponding homogeneous equation. Corresponding homogeneous equation is this. First, find its solution by the methods that you have learned so far and denote that solution by YH. After that, find a particular solution of this equation. YP is a particular solution. You have to find it. We will discuss methods for finding it. Okay. We also call it particular integral. Find YP, a particular solution of the differential equation 1. Then general solution is y equal to YH plus YP. So methods for finding YH you have already seen. You have done number of problems. Now you will learn methods for finding YP. Okay. So let's see the first method, that is the method of undetermined coefficients. That is the topic of discussion today. Method of undetermined coefficients. Given differential equation is y double prime plus py prime plus qy equal to rx. This method is applicable to this kind of equation where p and q are constants. Note this point. This method is applicable to this kind of equation where left hand side p and q are constants. If variable if px and qx are given, means some functions of x, this method is not applicable for finding yp. There is some restriction on rx also. But first learn the method, then you will understand what is that restriction. What we need to do, let yp equal to c1 times rx plus c2 times r prime x plus c3 times r double prime x and so on. Via this expression, what I want to say is consider rx and all possible derivatives of rx and then their linear combination. Assume that it is yp. Of course, it should not be infinite. Means your rx should be such that it should have only finite number of independent derivatives. For example, suppose rx is sin x. So what yp you should consider? C1, or you can choose A or whatever constant name, it's up to you. C1 we are reserving for the general solution, so let's call it A sin x plus b times cos x. If you further consider derivative, again it is sin x. So you will not get different functions, independent derivatives. Okay, this is one thing. So naturally, Rx should have finite number of independent derivatives. So you have to consider all possible functions appearing from the derivative and then consider their linear combination. Assume it is yp. After that, substitute this yp into the left-hand side. Okay, in this particular solution, what is unknown? These constants, these undetermined coefficients. So because you are assuming that it is a particular solution of this, substitute it into the given differential equation. Then equate the coefficient of like terms on both sides. You will have some relations between these unknown constants and you will find this. So let's see a problem. It's a very easy method, but you should understand the restrictions also. Let's do a problem on the method of undetermined coefficients. Find general solution of the differential equation y double prime minus y prime minus 2y equal to 4x square. This is non-homogeneous differential equation. So to write general solution, you need YH as well as YP. So how to get YH? You need to consider the corresponding homogeneous equation y double prime minus y prime minus 2y equal to 0. After that, write the auxiliary equation because it is an equation with constant coefficients. So m square minus m minus 2 equal to 0. What are values of m? What are two values of m from this equation?
-1. 2 and -1.
2 and
-1.
minus 1. So what is YH? Why? Because the roots are real and distinct. So YH is C1 e power 2x plus C2 e power minus x. Correct? So about YH part, you are already sure that what you are doing. Now next part that is new for you to find YP. You are applying method of undetermined coefficients. So what do you need to consider? Let Yp equal to, look at your Rx. What is Rx here? 4x square. What are possible derivatives? List them. R prime x is 8x. R double prime x is 8. After that, these are 0. So you are able to get only 3 different functions. What is their linear combination? Ax square plus bx plus c. Ax square plus bx plus c. Now, next step, substitute this into the given differential equation to determine ABC. So if I substitute here, what do I get? Second derivative of yp is 2a, or I can write here, what is yp prime? 2ax plus b. What is yp double prime? 2a. So substitute these 3 into a given differential equation. See what do you get? 2a minus 2ax plus b minus 2 times y means this ax square plus bx plus c equal to 4x square. Equal to 4x square. Now equate the coefficients of like powers of x on both sides. Equating the coefficient of x square, then x, and then constant. You will have three relations in ABC. Can you write them yourself? Equating the coefficients of x square, x, and x power 0. You will have 3 relations among ABC. What are those relations? Write them. Just check it. I'm writing here minus 2a equal to 4, minus 2a minus 2b equal to 0, and 2a minus b minus 2c equal to 0. Check whether these are correct. Are you getting
Yes, sir.
these three relations in ABC?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what are values of ABC after this?
-2, 2 and -3.
Yes. Values of ABC are minus 2, 2 and minus 3. If you solve these three, A is clear minus 2 from here. Substitute a value of A here to get B, and then values of A and B in the third relation to get C. So values of ABC after solving these, values of ABC are minus 2, 2 and minus 3. So what is YP? Therefore, YP is minus 2x square plus 2x minus 3. Already you found YH, YP is this. So what is general solution? General solution. Y equal to YH plus YP means C1 e power 2x plus C2 e power minus x minus 2x square plus 2x minus 3. This is the final general solution of the given differential equation. Why we equated the coefficients equal to 0 means why we equated the coefficient on both sides. Because it is a solution, so it should be an identity. An identity means coefficients of x should be equal on both sides. Any doubt in this procedure? You can ask me before I move to the next problem.
Sir, why we have considered ax square? Is there any constraint?
See here, Rx, R prime x, R double prime. I told you all combinations you have to see, means all different derivatives of Rx you have to see along with Rx. Reason is that when you substitute these values, I mean, when you construct this YP, okay, so in YP, if you don't consider x square, there would be a problem here. Okay, you cannot equate the coefficients. So this is the procedure of this method. Yes.
Sir, while writing the general solution yp plus yh, sir, we will not be multiplying both of them with some other constants. Like, will yp always be in its minus 2x square plus 2x minus 3, or will it be multiplied by some constant also?
No need to do that. This is the solution, right? We proved in general. It is a solution of the equation, two arbitrary constants. So it should be general solution.
Yes, sir.
It is possible. It is possible. Sometimes you find, I will do a problem on this. You will see that you have constructed particular solution, but that merges with the corresponding homogeneous equation. It happens. So we need to see those cases.
Okay, sir.
So idea, in general, the idea is for non-homogeneous equation, general solution is given by YH plus YP. Okay, we proved this theorem in general. So YH you understand how to find, and find YP separately by some or the other method. So once you have yp, just use this formula. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's see another problem. Y double prime plus y equal to sin x. Y double prime plus y equal to sin x. Find general solution of this non-homogeneous differential equation using the method of undetermined coefficients. Remember that method of undetermined coefficients calculates particular integral. It doesn't means particular solution. It doesn't give you the solution of corresponding homogeneous equation. For finding the solution of corresponding homogeneous equation, you need to apply some of the earlier methods. Method of undetermined coefficients is purely to find yp, not yh. It should be clear to you. Okay, so if you look to find yh, that should be simple for you. Yh means solving the corresponding homogeneous differential equation y double prime plus y equal to 0. Here auxiliary equation is m square plus 1 equal to 0, and from this you get, what do you get? Plus minus iota. Complex roots with a equal to 0, b 1. So what is yh? E power 0x c1, e power 0x c1 sin x plus c2 cos x, or you can write cos x first, it doesn't matter. This is the solution of the corresponding homogeneous equation. I think it is okay. Now let's find yp. How to construct yp in this case? Look here, rx is sin x. So r prime x is cos x, r double prime x is again sin x, so no need to write further. You are seeing that by doing derivatives of rx, you have only one different function. So we will assume yp equal to a sin x plus b cos x. Okay, substitute it into the given equation and see what do you get. Are you able to find capital A and capital B?
No, sir.
No, sir.
What is the region? What do you think? What is the region? You see, your yp is exactly matching the yh. So you cannot find A and B uniquely. Even if you find some AB, finally it will be merged with the YH. Okay, there is no YP separately. So how to deal with this kind of problems? Where the assumed particular solution is a particular case of the corresponding homogeneous equation solution. Multiply your yp by x, revise your yp, multiply by this by x. Now substitute it into the given differential equation and find a and b. You remember when the roots were repeating, what you did there? One solution was e power mx, another solution x e power mx. Okay, anyway, so in method of undetermined coefficients, for simpler calculation, it's better you multiply it by x. Okay, now substitute it into the given differential equation and find a and b. This exercise you should do. It's an exercise only. Take your time, but find correct values of A and B. When you substitute yp equal to this expression into the given differential equation, what do you get? And then equation 1 implies, do you get 2a cos x minus 2b sin x equal to sin x? Confirm this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you are getting this after this, it should be easy because there is no cos x on the right side, so 2a should be 0 and minus 2b should be equal to 1. Coefficient of sin x is 1. From this you get a 0 and b minus 1 by 2. So what is yp in the end? B is minus 1 by 2, a is 0, so minus half x sin x. X cos x, not sin x, cos x. Minus half x cos x. So general solution should be, in the end you can write your answer. General solution of the given differential equation is what is given by y equal to yh plus yp. Yh plus yp. That means c1 sin x plus c2 cos x minus half x cos x. Minus half x cos x. Is it okay? Any doubts you can ask. Shall I move further? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, when we are getting yp as same as yh, there is only possibility of multiplying with x only.
You can try something else also, but your calculation will become cumbersome. Okay. You see, the idea is to find a particular solution. Whatever way you get, it's up to you. But it is suggested that multiplied by x. Okay. You will see that there are other methods also for finding particular integral. Next method is method of variation of parameters, but we will not be able to complete in this lecture, so it is better to take some problems. Method of variation of parameters we will do in the next lecture. Let's see a couple of problems that will test your basics. Write this differential equation, y double prime plus y prime whole square equal to 0. Y double prime plus y prime equal to y prime whole square equal to 0. y1 equal to 1 and y2 equal to ln x. Are these solutions of this differential equation? First check it. Are these two particular solutions of this differential equation?
Yes, sir.
One is very clear, one is
Yes, sir.
satisfying, and ln x is also satisfying it. You can check it. Are these two solutions independent? Next question is, are these two solutions independent?
Yes, sir.
These are independent, right? So what is general solution of this equation?
C1 plus C2 ln.
Really? Is general solution? Question mark. Check it whether it's a solution or not. Substitute this. These two are of course solutions. These two are independent also. Now I'm checking whether the linear combination is also a solution. If linear combination is also a solution, it would be general solution because it carries two arbitrary constants.
Sir, it is not satisfying.
Not satisfying. It means it is not a solution. Why? What are we missing here? That's the final question in this problem.
So it's a two-degree differential equation.
It's a second order.
Second order is okay. No problem in second order.
But sir, it is not linear.
Not a linear
It
equation.
is not a linear differential equation. Yes, it's a non-linear differential equation. The result that you have studied is for this equation. Linearity principle that you are using is for this homogeneous linear differential equation. If y1, y2 are two particular solutions, then c1 y1 plus c2 y2 is also a solution, but the equation is linear. This equation is not linear. That's why it cannot be general solution. Okay. For the main point is that this result is not true for non-linear differential equation. This is the message from this problem. Okay. If y1, y2 are two solutions of this differential equation, you have learned a result that Wronskian of y1, y2 is either identically zero or never zero. Do you recall this result? If
Yes,
y1, y2 are two solutions of this homogeneous linear differential equation, then Wronskian of y1, y2 is either identically zero or never zero. Okay. Now suppose you are given two solutions, y1 and y2 of this equation. Say these two solutions are given to you. And further it is given that y1, y2 have a common zero. Common zero. What can you say about these solutions? These are independent or dependent? Again, I repeat, this is a second order homogeneous linear differential equation. Two solutions are given such that they have a common zero. Common zero means
Linear
Dependent.
dependent.
Dependent, yes.
Dependent.
why?
The Wronskian will be 0.
Wronskian will be always 0. Sir. So if it is for one value of x, it's 0, it has to be 0.
Do you understand the meaning of common zero?
Yes.
y1, y2 have common zero means these are zero at some point, at the same point. Then x0 is common zero of y1 and y2. Okay, common zero means both become zero at this point x naught. Now, if you find Wronskian at x naught in particular, at x naught, if you find Wronskian for y1, y2, by definition, what is it? y1, y2, y1 prime, y2 prime. So in particular, if you find it at x naught, what happens? The first row becomes identically zero. And that tells you Wronskian is zero at one point at least, but you know Wronskian is either identically zero or never zero. You are able to see that at least at one point x naught it is zero. It means it must be identically zero. And if it is identically zero, y1, y2 are linearly dependent. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I ask you next question. Same situation. Second order homogeneous linear differential equation, two solutions, y1 and y2. It is given that they have maxima or minima at same point, or you can say they have common maxima or minima. Y1, y2 have a common maxima or minima. What can you say about the solutions?
The linearly
Dependent.
Why?
Because y1 prime and y2 prime are 0 at some
Yes.
value of x.
Because you know that if a function has maximum or minimum at some point, its derivative should be 0 at that point, correct? Because x naught is common maximum minima, so these two should be 0. And if these two are 0, then in this case the second row is identically 0 and you get Wronskian 0 at x naught. But if Wronskian is 0 at a single point, it means it is identically 0. Okay? So in this case also the solutions are linearly dependent. Let's see another problem. Look at this differential equation y double prime plus y equal to 0. Sin x and cos x are its particular solutions. You can check it. Are these?
Yes, sir.
So this is one pair I have written. These are independent also. What about this pair? Sin x and sin x minus cos x. Sin x is of course a solution. Because this is linear combination of these two, it is again a solution.
Yes, sir.
So what does it mean? It means there can be different pairs of independent solutions. There can be different pairs of independent solutions. So is there something that we can reconstruct the equation uniquely by using our solutions? So in this regard, we have a result that we should do. This is the given differential equation, and if two solutions are known, say y1, y2, any two solutions are known, independent solutions, then Px can be found as minus y1, y2 double prime, minus y2, y1 double prime. Qx can be found as y1 double prime, no, y1 prime, y2 double prime. I should divide it also by Wronskian. Px is minus y1 y2 double prime minus y2 y1 double prime divided by Wronskian. Qx is y1 prime y2 double prime minus y2 prime y1 double prime divided by Wronskian. Can you prove it? Because what is the advantage of this result? Y1, Y2, whatever Y1, Y2 are given, if you substitute in these formulas, you have unique Px and Qx. You can reconstruct your equation uniquely. So can you obtain these Px, Qx given functions, given solutions are Y1 and Y2?
Yes, sir. We can put y1, y2, and then solve for px, qx system of linear equation.
Yes, do that way and just verify. Because y1, y2 are solutions of this, so y1 double prime plus px y1 prime plus qx equal to 0. Second relation would be qx y equal to 0. Here y is also, I'm missing y. y2 double prime plus px y2 prime plus qx y2 equal to 0. From these two equations, you can obtain Px and Qx. How?
So multiplying equation 1 by y2 and 2 by y1.
1 by y2, 2 by... Okay. I think we have done it when we were proving the result related to Wronskian. Multiply it by y2 and the second equation by y1 and subtract the 2. What will you get, Px or Qx?
Px.
Px. And if I multiply first equation by y2 prime, second by y1 prime and then subtract?
Then you will get Qx.
Qx. Okay, so it's a simple procedure. You can obtain these two from the given equation. So its proof is simple, but you should understand the message from it. Message is that if you know two solutions, any two solutions, you can construct the same equation. Because these Px and Qx are determined uniquely in terms of y1 and y2. Okay? So in the next lecture, we will discuss about the method of variation of parameters, very important.